Getting dressed for an event these days can induce, well, a very specific kind of modern panic. You get an invitation, and right there at the bottom it says something completely paradoxical.
Oh, like business casual.
Yes. Or black tie optional, which is just, I mean, you're standing in your closet wondering, is this blazer too formal? Are these shoes too relaxed? Am I going to be the literal only person in the room wearing a tie? It just feels like a minefield.
It really does, because it's that tension, right, between wanting to show respect for the event, but also wanting to, maintain your personal comfort.
Right?
But the rules we're given are incredibly vague. It leaves everything up to interpretation,
Yeah.
which is, of course, exactly where the anxiety comes in.
Exactly. But today we are leaving that vague modern panic behind. We're diving into the ultimate centuries-old dress code matrix. We are looking at the Japanese concept of kaku,
Which translates roughly to rank or formality.
right, specifically within the world of women's kimono. And to guide us on this deep dive, we're relying on a massive, really comprehensive manual from Sagami.
Yeah, they're a major Japanese kimono retailer.
Right, and they've laid out the intricate rules of kimono TPO, which stands for time, place, and occasion.
It's a stunningly precise system,
Mm-hmm.
and while that strict hierarchy is exactly what makes the kimono seem so intimidating to modern wearers, understanding it is actually the key to unlocking true elegance.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. We really want to demystify this beautiful, highly structured hierarchy, because by the end of this, I think you'll see that this system isn't just about gatekeeping or, memorizing arbitrary fashion rules. It is a profound expression of consideration for the people around you. Okay, let's unpack this. Where do we even begin with a system that's this complex?
Well, we have to start with the concept of kaku itself. Kaku is the absolute foundation. I mean, if you don't understand the rank of the garment, nothing else works.
So it's the anchor of the whole outfit.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
to really grasp how this creates harmony, it helps to look at the extremes first. So the absolute top of the formality pyramid. These are the garments reserved for life's biggest milestones.
Like weddings or major public ceremonies.
Right. The highest tier of formal wear.
Now, reading through the guide, there was something that immediately tripped me up. At the very top of this hierarchy for married women is a solid black kimono.
The Kuroda Misode, yeah.
Right. And it has 5 white family crests dyed into the fabric. Right. Like on the back, the sleeves, and the chest. And you typically see it worn by the mothers of the bride and groom at a wedding.
Yeah, that's the ultimate marker of the highest rank. Those 5 crests, they demand absolute respect.
But then, right alongside that celebratory wedding garment, there is another solid black kimono, the mafuku, also with 5 white crests. But it's worn strictly for mourning at funerals.
Yes, that's correct.
Wait, how does that work visually? I mean, if black with 5 crests is the absolute highest formality for both a joyous wedding and a somber funeral, how do you avoid mixing them up? Like, are people just showing up to weddings looking like they're in mourning?
Well, no. What's fascinating here is how the negative space and the hidden details completely shift the emotional weight of the garment.
Okay, how so?
So they might both start as black silk with 5 crests, but honestly, that's where the similarities end. With the wedding kimono, you have that solid black upper body to display the family crests proudly. But from the knees down, the hem features incredibly colorful, highly auspicious patterns.
Oh, like the cranes and pine trees.
Exactly. Cranes, pine trees, heavy gold embroidery.
So the top half is basically saying, I take this seriously, and the bottom half is throwing a party.
I mean, I wouldn't put it quite like that, but yes. It's a celebration, but one that's grounded in deep respect. Furthermore, the wedding garment is worn with a crisp, white underlayer, and this layer purposefully peeks out at the neckline, the sleeves, and the hem.
Oh, so you get these flashes of white.
Yes, that flash of white and the vibrant hem make it unmistakably joyful. And then there's the hanfurisode, which is the first formal wear for unmarried women.
Right, that's the one with the dramatic sweeping sleeves, right? Like 114 to 124 centimeters long.
Exactly. And it has these gorgeous, continuous patterns all over. You see it on brides or at coming-of-age ceremonies. It's incredibly celebratory.
Which means the morning kimono, the mafuku, must strip all of that away.
Completely. No hem design, no long flowing sleeves, no white underlayers showing. It is the purest expression of sorrow and solemnity. Just stark black.
Wow.
Yeah. So in both cases, the black canvas paired with those 5 white family crests is what elevates them to the absolute highest rank. But the styling, entirely dictates the emotional intent.
Okay, that makes perfect sense, but I mean, nobody can live at that high-stakes level of formality every day. The pressure of wearing something that carries that much emotional weight must be absolutely exhausting.
Oh, definitely.
So naturally, we move down a step to the semi-formal tier. This seems to be the versatile sweet spot, right? The garments you'd wear as a guest to a graduation or a nice party or a formal tea ceremony.
Yeah, and this is where we see some of the most spectacular textile artistry. The prime example here is the humungi, which is often translated as the visiting dress.
The technical process behind this visiting dress completely blew my mind. There is a specific dyeing technique, the ibamoyo technique, designed so that the pattern flows continuously right across the seams.
It's beautiful.
It's as if the entire kimono was laid out and painted as a single, uninterrupted mural.
The precision required for that is just staggering. I mean, think about how a standard garment is made. You cut the fabric, you sew it together, and if it has a pattern, well, the pattern breaks at the shoulders and the sides.
Right, the lines never quite match up.
Exactly. But to create this continuous mural effect, the artisan actually takes the bolts of white silk, temporarily bastes them together into the shape of the kimono, and then hand paints the design across the seams.
Wait, really? They paint it while it's temporarily sewn together?
Yes. And then they take the entire garment apart again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they take it apart, dye the base color, apply all the intricate details, and finally sew it back together permanently. The result is this breathtaking visual impact. A branch of cherry blossoms might sweep flawlessly from the left shoulder down across the back and around to the right hem.
It sounds like you're wearing a museum piece.
It really is. Now, slightly below that, you have the suksage. That one is dyed on the roll, so they avoid having patterns that cross the seams, making it a bit lighter and easier to produce.
Okay. But sitting right in the same semi-formal tier, right next to that spectacular painted mural of the visiting dress, is a solid color kimono, the iramuji.
Yes, the iramuji.
Absolutely no dyed pattern at all, though it might be woven with a subtle texture in the silk itself. So if the visiting dress is like wearing a spectacular, eye-catching canvas, this solid color option is like, I don't know, a perfectly tailored minimalist silk slip dress.
That's a great comparison.
Understated, but depending on how you accessorize it, highly sophisticated.
The minimalist silk slip dress is a perfect way to think about it. It's a true masterclass in understatement. And here's a crucial detail. If you add just a single white family crest to the back of the neck of that solid color kimono, it suddenly becomes the absolute favorite, most appropriate choice for formal tea ceremonies.
But why is that? I mean, if I'm going to a highly formalized, elegant tea ceremony, why wouldn't I wear the beautiful, labor-intensive painted mural to impress the host? Why choose the plain, solid color?
It all comes down to the core philosophy of the tea ceremony itself. The ceremony is not about the guest's attire.
Okay.
It is a highly choreographed, shared experience focused entirely on the harmony of the room. You have the specific matcha being served, you have the host's quiet practice movements, and very importantly, the seasonal scroll and the single, carefully chosen flower arrangement the host has placed in the alcove.
Ah, so if you walk in wearing a loud, heavily patterned mural across your body.
You become the loudest thing in the room. You
Yeah.
visually clash with the scroll. You pull focus from the host's quiet hospitality.
Oh.
Yeah, by wearing the solid, unpatterned silk with a single crest, you're showing profound respect precisely by not demanding attention. You are blending into the harmony that the host has worked so incredibly hard to create.
Wow. Okay, so formal wear is really about erasing the ego to honor the occasion. Now let's transition to the realm where personal taste, creative freedom, and comfort take over. We're moving out of weddings and tea ceremonies and into outing and everyday wear.
The fun stuff.
Yeah, going to the theater, dining out with friends, or just relaxing in a cotton kimono at a summer festival.
This is where the strict rules loosen up, and fashion truly becomes fashion. You see the koman, which has repeated dyed patterns, or the kazuri with its splash designs. You see wool, cotton, or momin, and of course the yukata.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting for me, because reading through the rules for everyday wear, I hit a rule about a specific type of woven silk kimono called tsumugi. And I need to ask you about this because it genuinely shocked me.
Oh, I know where this is going.
The text explicitly states that even if a tsumugi kimono is the absolute most expensive, top-tier luxury item you own, and these hand-woven pieces can cost as much as a luxury car, right?
Yes, easily.
Even then, you're absolutely forbidden from wearing it to a formal wedding or a strict tea ceremony.
That is entirely correct.
But how can the most expensive item in your closet be considered casual? That feels like a Like telling someone they can't wear a $10,000 designer t-shirt to a black tie gala.
Well, let's look at your analogy. Would you wear a $10,000 designer t-shirt to a black tie gala?
I mean, I wouldn't, but mostly because it's a t-shirt.
Precisely. It doesn't matter if that t-shirt was hand-stitched with gold thread in Paris. Its structural DNA is still that of a casual t-shirt. In Japanese culture, and specifically within this system of kaku, rank is entirely decoupled from price.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're completely separate metrics.
So what makes this incredibly expensive woven silk inherently casual, regardless of the price tag?
It comes down to the mechanism of how it's made. Those high-ranking formal garments we discussed earlier, the wedding kimonos, the visiting dresses, they are woven from pristine, smooth, white silk threads, and then the pattern is dyed or painted onto the surface afterward. It gives the fabric a smooth, formal sheen.
Right, the painted murals.
Tsunugi, on the other hand, is yarn-dyed. The individual threads are dyed first, and then the weaver has to meticulously calculate how to weave those colored threads together to create a pattern.
Oh, that sounds incredibly difficult.
It is incredibly labor-intensive, which is exactly why it costs a fortune. But historically, this was how everyday people made sturdy, durable clothing out of uneven, leftover silk threads for daily life.
Ah, so it has blue-collar roots.
Exactly. It has a slightly rougher, more rustic texture, so no matter how much time and money an artisan pours into it today, its lineage is everyday workwear.
Showing up to a wedding in one would be a major faux pas.
A massive one. Because if you wear your wildly expensive woven kimono to a formal event, you're essentially saying to the host, well, I didn't think your event was worth dressing up in true formal wear for, but I still want everyone here to know how much money I have.
Yikes.
Yeah, it violates that core principle of kaku we discussed with the tea ceremony. It's about humility and honoring the occasion, not flexing your wealth.
That is fascinating. You literally can't buy your way into formality. Okay, so knowing the rank of the garment itself is really only half the battle, because you cannot separate a kimono from its belt, the obi.
You really can't.
Right, the obi and the accessories can actually elevate or completely ruin the rank of the entire outfit.
The obi isn't just an accessory. It is the structural and visual anchor of the kimono. And just like the garments, these belts have their own strict hierarchy based on how they are constructed.
So at the very top, for bridal wear or that formal black wedding kimono, you have the maru obi. It's this massive double-width piece of stiff silk folded over with heavy patterns woven into both sides. I mean, it's luxurious, but it sounds incredibly heavy and difficult to wear.
It is. Tying one often requires assistance and immense physical effort, which is why, as you move down to semi-formal and casual wear, the architecture of the obi changes completely. You have the fukuro obi, which is standard formal, folded at the ends without a heavy core.
Okay, a bit lighter.
Right. But this brings us to a specific style called the Nagoya obi, which was invented in the Taisho era. And the engineering behind this is just brilliant. To simplify things, they basically pre-folded and stitched the belt to half-width around the waist, but they left it full width at the back where the decorative bow is tied.
Oh, so it's a huge time saver.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the invention of that pre-stitched Nagoya obi tells us so much about the human experience during a massive societal shift. The Taisho era in the early 1900s was a period of rapid modernization in Japan.
Right, you have trains, cafes, the rise of the modern office.
Exactly. Women were increasingly entering the workforce as teachers, switchboard operators, and office workers. Life was moving at a much faster pace.
Imagine trying to rush out the door to catch a train for your morning commute, and you have to wrestle with a heavy, unyielding, double-width silk tapestry around your waist.
You simply wouldn't have the time or the energy. They needed something faster and easier to tie independently, but they didn't want to sacrifice the structural beauty of the traditional silhouette.
So it was a compromise.
Yeah, this pre-stitched obi was basically a technological hack. It met the physical needs of a modernizing society while still respecting the visual rules of the dress code.
It's amazing how clothing acts as a timestamp for what people are going through. And beyond the belt, even the tiniest accessories shift dramatically by rank.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the collar that peeks out from under the kimono must be pure white for formal wear, especially for tea ceremonies. Your footwear matters too. Formal occasions demand specific woven fabric, like saga nishiki, or metallic gold and silver leather sandals called zori, and even precious stone obi clips.
Yes, every detail matters.
But if you're dressing casually, you can wear colored or patterned collars, regular leather sandals, and decorative clips made of glass or wood.
You really have to view the entire outfit as a single ecosystem.
It reminds me of putting together a really specific formal outfit in the West. Like if you wore chunky mud-covered hiking boots with a pristine, custom-tailored tuxedo, it wouldn't just look bad, it would be physically absurd.
Right, completely absurd.
The hiking boots belong on a trail, the tuxedo belongs at a gala. Mixing them up ruins the function and the aesthetic of both.
That's a much better way to think about it. It's
Exactly.
about coherence.
So we've covered the technical pieces, the emotional weight of black silk, the painted murals, the hidden workwear origins of the most expensive silks, and the structural hacks of the modern era. Now, we really need to tie it all together. The ultimate question: why does this complex matrix of rules still matter today?
The Sagami Guide distills this beautifully into a core philosophy. They say that getting dressed requires balancing two distinct things. First is the balance of rank, color, and pattern. That's essentially knowing the technical rules.
Right, so the formal belt goes with the painted mural, the white collar goes with the wedding kimono, the mechanics, basically not wearing the hiking boots with the tuxedo.
Exactly. But the second, and arguably more important part, is the balance with your surroundings. This means actively considering the host, the venue, and the purpose of the gathering before you even open your closet.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? I think if you are looking at the system from the outside, it is so easy to view it as rigid gatekeeping. Just an endless list of ways to make a mistake and be judged by people who know better. But what we're actually seeing is that these rules are a shared language of care.
I completely agree. I always say that knowledge is most valuable when it is applied to better understand the world around you. Dressing properly in this context is completely divorced from vanity.
Right.
It is framed as a literal promise and a profound consideration for your host. When you take the time to select the plain solid color for a tea ceremony or the perfectly white color for a wedding, you are using your physical presence to say, I honor the effort you put into this gathering and I respect the weight of this occasion.
It's empathy worn on your sleeve, literally.
Yes. It takes the anxiety out of getting dressed. The focus shifts entirely from, how do I look to how can my presence contribute to the harmony of this event?
That completely reframes the panic we talked about at the beginning of the show. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the beautiful, intricate world of kimono TPO and the philosophy of kaku. It really makes you appreciate the thought that goes into getting dressed.
It's been a wonderful conversation.
Before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. We learned today that the yukata, which is the light cotton kimono you see everyone wearing casually at summer festivals today, actually started out centuries ago as a high-class bathrobe for the nobility.
Mhm.
And there's another style, the Edo koman, which is now worn as a highly refined, semi-formal garment. But it evolved directly from the everyday utilitarian uniforms of samurai.
It's amazing how things evolve.
Right? Given how the ranks of these garments have shifted so dramatically over the centuries to meet society's changing needs, what piece of our casual everyday clothing right now might evolve into the strict formal wear of the distant future? Think about that the next time you're stressing over a business casual dress code. Keep questioning the world around you, and we'll catch you next time.